I'm a sucker for your style and the things you do. I was living foul, no doubt, I wasn't blaming you. No one skipped. And we back with another one. Ooh, that's what they would say if it wasn't me. But guess what? It's me. Your boy JR back with another one. Definitely, if you know, you know. The industry is hot right now. We got 50 coming at T.I. We got all kind of stuff going on. The newest thing I heard is J. Cole. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump right into this one. I ain't gonna waste none of y'all time. We're gonna get right into it.
These new J. Cole allegations are absolutely horrifying. If this is true, J. Cole's career is over with. He needs to be arrested tonight.
What?
But if it's not true, somebody needs to be bankrupt. Somebody needs to be
I
sent a
think that
lesson
would be
with
the
a
better
lawsuit.
route.
Because you don't put allegations like this on somebody for the sake of it. This entire drama goes back to 2018.
Talk about
when
it.
J. Cole dropped the KOD album.
I remember that album.
Now, the entire drama set.
Not gonna lie, that album set me on a whole different type of J. Cole wave. Cause y'all don't remember that the Off the Bench album it was or something like that. His very first album, with my favorite song on that album was Mr. Nice Watch. I gotta go listen to that. This album right here, nothing to reckon with, but let's see what they talking about.
Around the cover art for the KOD album. J. Cole also dropped the art book for the KOD album, right? Now,
Yeah,
like the cover art and the artwork and the art that was in the art book for the
giving
KOD album
children.
was really unique, and no other J. Cole album cover looks like this. And that's because it was done by a guy called Kamau Haroon. Him and J. Cole only worked on one project, and that was KOD, and that happened in 2018, and they haven't worked since. Even though they only worked briefly on one album, Kamau absolutely hates J. Cole's guts. He
Holy crap.
despises J. Cole. He hates everything J. Cole stands for.
Wow.
According to him, his words, not mine. Now, Kamau took to the timeline today to explain exactly why they only worked once and never worked again. He took to his Twitter.
Some things you would never know about a person until somebody else pointed out. And then you start looking at that person and be like, start seeing what that other person point out. That may be happening, but again, let's keep going, y'all. This is getting crazy.
Timeline to celebrate getting a new job that no longer operates on commission but salary. He would write, "I got the job I've been talking about. Your boy ain't no longer a freelance artist. I don't got to do these F-ass commissions anymore. F your album cover, ninja." Somebody says, "Wait till you clock in, fam." Kamau says, "I've been clocking in for these record labels in an evil industry every day of my life, ninja. I'll be okay." Kamau also says, "Freelancing felt like selling my soul, my passion, my gift, and turning it into slop. The hours weren't forgiven, the clients weren't nice, the pay was really good. Sure, when it hits, it's the most fulfilling thing on earth, but I can still make my own art without the pressure."
All right.
So then somebody responded back and says, "Selling your time is like selling your soul. Trust me, both suck. So just enjoy the pros and cons. Pro of a wage job
also selling another form of selling your soul. You musicians and you artists start doing things out of your comfort zone, things that you've like never done before, and then it's like you get paid for it, and it's unsubstantial amount of money. You know what I'm saying? So watch how you guys treat yourselves and stay true to yourself when you get this chicken.
you're gonna have bread, blah, 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 right?" So people were telling him, "Hey, listen, man, this job ain't, all that it's cracking out to be. You might regret this job." So one person says, "Now it's going to be a conceited director that doesn't understand boundaries or ethics.
What?
Don't say this to discourage you, but there will be challenges with every career." Now, Kamau responded back to that particular comment in a quote tweet because he wanted everybody to see. Kamau wrote, "Man, J. Cole tried to force me to draw child porn. I'd rather just have a mean boss for real." When he said this, the timeline erupted. You had Drake and Kendrick fans rush into the tweet to label these allegations true because they hate J. Cole. You had J. Cole fans comment labeling this dude as a disgruntled employee. And the first question they asked was, hold on, why you just speak?
Why do people hate J. Cole? Regardless of the allegations we about to hear, why do people hate J. Cole? He's fundamentally in his own space, like literally. There's nothing you can do to J. Cole to knock him off his pivot. Let's go.
About this.
What's going on?
Like, if J. Cole asked you to do this, why didn't you speak up when it happened? He responded back by pointing out that he's been calling out J. Cole since 2019. So he worked on his album cover in 2018 of April. He called out J. Cole March of 2019.
I gotta get my glasses.
So in 2019, he would write, and that ninja J. Cole asked me to draw little underage girls naked. He a effing weirdo. The age of how old the allegations are given some credibility, but it could just be somebody who worked with J. Cole in 2018. J. Cole fired him or never worked with him again. He got disgruntled, so he's making up lies. I mean, it could very well just be that. I wasn't in the room.
This world is getting weird and weird every day.
A lot of questions derive from this. Are you saying that J. Cole told you to draw child corn for the album cover? Or are you saying that J. Cole told you to draw child corn for his own personal use? Spoiler alert, Kamau exposed himself as a weirdo too in this thread. So he says, when I did the KOD album cover in 2017-ish, he flew me out to California afterwards for booklet art. In his studio, him and his security had me in a corner with my sketchbook, pressing me to draw underage girls for a project I'd never heard.
Right.
He says, of course I said no, but they were persistent. Why you saying but? What's the but about? At the time, he was my boss. What are you getting to?
Flock, you reaching.
What are you getting to, bruh?
Flock.
I had no money for real. What are you about to tell us?
I did.
He paid for my rides, food, hotel, for me and all the people who was helping him put the project together. Okay?
It sounded like a freaky deaky excuse. That's it. I'm going with that. I'm going with the latter. You going, Flock.
If I wasn't in his good graces, I would have been ish out of, what are you, Kamaru? What are you saying, bruh?
What J. Cole doing?
This man says, so I had to learn how to compromise with evil. I drew a bunch of girls taking nude selfies, but the way I angled the camera covered all the naughty parts. I didn't feel good about it, but this is evidence in the album booklet where one of the sketches actually made it in. So he's claiming that this is one of the sketches that he says was actually him drawing an underage, which I'll be real, looking at the picture right now, this kind of looks like a depiction of a really young girl.
Come on.
This looks like a depiction of a really young girl. This don't look like an adult from my perspective. So he's claiming that J. Cole is who told him to do this, okay? But it doesn't stop here. He would later accuse J. Cole of telling him to draw him more for personal reasons. But we'll get to that a little later. Just stay tuned. We'll get to the other allegations. It extends far beyond just album cover. J. Cole fans came to the comment section and said, dude, hold on, bro. You are a liar, right? J. Cole didn't instruct you to do anything. You had full creative control. You were who did this because you are a sick man. Keep J. Cole out of it. And, yo, the J. Cole fans were loud enough that this dude even got a community note. On the original tweet, the community note stated, this allegation is fake. User has said in the past that they had complete creative freedom over KOD Network. User also has the same CP art in their own art collection. So, bro, you are weird. Kamau, you are weird, Kamau. If you're claiming what was in that album was CP and you included it in your own art, that's weird, okay? So they even like had the exact quote, and the exact quote was, I did all the creative direction for the KOD album, and he told me my work was only going to be used for booklet art, only to turn around and make merchandise illegally with my art behind my back and profit majority off of it while on tour. F him. Now we're starting to see what the motive might be for lying on J. Cole, if he's lying. The motive might be, he came in, he did some cheap labor, right? J. Cole paid him cheaply to do the album cover. He got paid for it. He thought he was about to come up off of the relationship. J. Cole didn't work with him again, but then J. Cole
Nah, this
took his
is getting
album
real,
and his artwork
like,
and began to make merch and profit from it a lot, and he didn't get a dime. So now he's upset at J. Cole.
pissed.
So he responded back and he says, it's misquoted. I did all the album artwork. Cole was the art director. The discrepancy came
Why
when
we
he
ain't
used
get
art that
Cole
was
to
meant
say
to be
something yet?
album
I don't
art
think
for
he's important
merch.
enough for Cole to say something.
Instead, to make extra profit, here you can see I'm credited as illustrator while Cole is art director. J. Cole fans will also point out that this dude has some outright blatant lies on his Twitter timeline about J. Cole. He would claim the 21st of August, right, 2025, that he had Lil Nas X and J. Cole in the studio wearing interconnected do-rags and forced them to record together. New track dropping soon. Which, bro, you've never had J. Cole and Lil Nas X in any studio like together. And also, why were you in the studio with J. Cole if you were claiming that J. Cole is this, right? And he would also follow this up by saying, J. Cole not safe.
Look at this creepy ass boy, man. Look at this boy. We stripped J. Cole naked and handcuffed him to a radiator and on a cold tile floor, then turned the heat on all the way up. No homo. Yo, bro, bye, man. You take that to trial, bro. You bugging.
New York City, he better go back to California with that country-ish. He would also say, we stripped J. Cole naked and handcuffed him to a radiator on a cold tile floor. Okay. Then apparently turned the heat all the way up. No homo, though, he said. There's a 0% chance he kidnapped J. Cole. There's a 0% chance any of that is true. So people are pointing out, hey, man, how can y'all take this seriously? Yes, he did the artwork for J. Cole. Yes, he's the author of the art, and he could probably tell us what age he was imagining in his head. But how can y'all believe he's telling the truth about J. Cole when he's clearly lying about tying up and kidnapping J. Cole? When the fans began to press him some more, he began to double talk. So one fan says, question, how does someone even go about asking for CP? Like, do you just come out and say it? Or do they just beat around the bush like, so I want a girl who looks like Jennifer?
Explain to me. Like, you mofos got to explain that to me. Like, how do somebody even just think about it like that? Like, how does that even come up? How does someone even how we start that, like, hey man, be alright, would you be alright drawing a little bit of PC for me? What? CP? I said it backwards. See, I don't even be knowing the terms, bro. It's weird. It's straight weird. Everything is weird about this. I hope J. Cole get a bag.
For 1987. Now, this is where his explanation to me is double talk and doesn't make sense completely. So he'll respond back and he will say, that's exactly how it was. He just kept implying the girl in the song is young like a teen. And then I would draw a woman and he would be like, yeah, but we can go younger, right?
No way.
And just kept pressing it until he was basically straight up asking. Well, if he never told you a specific age, he just says, yo, draw me a young woman in her teens, that could have meant 18, 19. So if
I'm not in denial, a woman but I don't believe
from your perspective who was 13,
could have came up with a way better.
How can you now blame J. Cole and say, yo, J. Cole told me to draw CP? No, he said draw a young woman. And kept saying younger, 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 younger. And you kept going younger. Which, and I still don't know if that part of the story is true. I just don't see this from J. Cole, man. He will address the narrative of being a disgruntled employee because that's, to be honest, that's what it seems like, man. He would write, my initial rant was about him taking a sketchbook that had art in it and using all the work in it when I only agreed on some of it being used. In that sketchbook, I, as the CP art mentioned, I brought up both at the same time and they spun it to make it seem like it was about money. So the way it worked was I would pull up to the studio every day with a sketchbook and he would make music and give me pointers and I would sketch.
I'm not gonna lie. All done. I don't even care about Kameu, whoever. Yeah, bro. Nas X, man, attack. Why you put your name in something? Attack, bro.
A personal sketchbook. When it was time to turn in the project, my sketchbook was collected by Felton Brown. Felton is Dreamville graphic designer. Felton took my sketchbook and scanned every page and stole artwork. I was mad about that, so I brought it up at the same time I brought up the CP incident. Since I brought up both at once, they exaggerated the money angle to make it seem like I was a disgruntled employee mad about money other than what it really was.
What was it?
I'll be real, this sounds like you were mad at money, man. This
What
sounds
was
like
it
you were
then?
mad at money. I'm gonna give J. Cole some advice here. Cole, don't take this lightly.
Go.
Don't take this lightly. Listen, if this is fake, if this is false, if this is
What you
not
gonna tell
true,
him, Flock?
go to court and prove it. I don't care if you like, man, bro, this dude is worth nothing. I won't get $1 out this
Nah.
dude, bro. He's online celebrating getting a
He's
new
not
9 to
worth
5.
nothing.
What can I sue him for? Sue him for your reputation.
Yes, sir.
That's the
Get your
problem with a
bag,
lot of these
Cole.
artists and a lot of these dudes who are rich. They feel like suing the average person.
Let me just say this: suing for reputation is a myth, and you can sue all you want to get somebody to like you. It's not gonna happen. But you can sue for your dignity.
Common person is beneath
I guess that's
them
what he meant.
because they can't really gain nothing. Sometimes your public reputation is enough. How people view
That is
you
true.
is enough reward to sue somebody. Dudes like this who come online and make now again, I'm assuming these allegations are false. To make an allegation this serious, they're able to do it because they don't fear the repercussions. They don't fear that J. Cole will actually sue him. They
course
don't
not.
fear that J. Cole will take time out of
Too
his busy
humble.
day, file a lawsuit, and actually follow up with it. You got to send a message, bro. Because if you don't sue this dude, now the angle is going to be what? Well, if I'm lying, then why didn't J. Cole sue me? If I'm lying, then why haven't J. Cole sued
No,
me?
man, I'm not gonna lie.
I must be telling some
We
truth,
not
right? If
talking
J.
about
Cole
the
didn't sue
same
me, right?
artist. We can't
Y'all
be.
gotta start pressing the sue button faster, man. Cause this dude, now again,
I'm gonna stop it right there, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. J. Cole, do what you gotta do, man. This is another reason why I never wanted to be in the rap game. I'm gonna stick to this. I like it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. If you know, you know. It's your boy JR going again with another one with my boy Poetic. We're gonna make sure we give you guys enough information and some reactions to the information and give you guys some light on what's going on. Fuck with you, boy. I'm out. Peace.
I'm a sucker for your style and the things you do. I was living foul, no doubt, I wasn't blaming you. No one skipped